Okay, then that leave me 9 to beat the out of you.
You think? I know Taekwondo.
And I know whoop your
I just got a new coat still. Okay. Got a little brand new feel. Not so fast, switch blade, cut your car wheel. I'm on top, self-made, I'm the real deal.
Bienvenido. Bienvenido. Hola, 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 chiquitas. Hola, chiquitas. Hola, damas y caballeros. Hello, my good friends, my tribe members. You're here with the Elder-in-Chief, Karima McGee, here on this channel. Today, we're going to talk about the mistress, the wife, and oh, it hurts so bad. The conversation is going to require you to have on big girl underwear because we're going to go deep. This conversation is not had in the way that we're going to have it today. It's going to be a little triggering to some. And we're pulling it from hut wisdom, so you know it's going to be harsh on your palate. So take it easy, okay? You might want to get a cup of kava or something to hear this. But I wanted to ask a question, and I can hear my mentor saying, ask. I always say ask a question, all right? That Jersey accent always comes out. No matter how far away I get it from it, it still comes out. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the position of the mistress? Yes. The other woman. The woman who's told you can't call past 9. Or call me around 5:30. That gives me enough time to get home and through the traffic. Don't call me on Wednesdays and Thursdays because my wife is at home on those days. Or maybe I can meet you on Saturday because she's taking the kids out of town to her sister's. Maybe I can see you then. Oh, no. You know what? Maybe I can see you when she goes and get her hair done, but you'll have to swing by here instead, though. You'll have to come by the house because there's no way I'm going to be able to come and see you and get through traffic and she not wonder where I'm at. But you can come here. Have you ever been put in that position? Whether you are the mistress, the wife, or the girlfriend, each one of those positions you choose. Either by proxy, default, you choose. Now, there's someone out there saying, Karima, I did not choose to experience this level of betrayal. I'll go into a little bit deeper what I mean by that. That's on the back end, so stay with me. But let me give you a story, okay? I get a phone call. Miss Karima, what do I do to make him see me? Like, how do I get him from his wife? And then I said, well, darling, I don't think that's possible. Not in this case. There's too many emotional strings that he has with his wife. He has 4 children. Those are 4 emotional strings that's connecting both him and his wife. They lost their parents while they were together. Those are emotional ties that they have together. Both him and his wife. They have that together. Those experiences are wrapped up in between both of those two, keeping those two together. Well, what do I do so that he doesn't want to be with? He told me he was going to leave her, but he did not. And what I'll say to every young woman watching this, I'm in the bed because it's late and I'm doing this video. But every young woman watching this or listening, let me tell you something. When a man, a gentleman, we're not talking about these crazy guys that are here on the internet acting weird. No, we're talking about real good guys. When he wants you, he will bring you home, I promise you. He will come for you every time. You do not have to beat him over the head with a club and drag him out like we are living in the Stone Age or the Flintstones. He will come for you. I promise you, a man who wants you will come for you. He is not going to let you go. I promise. You know why? Because men know more than anyone that a good woman does not stay on the market far too long. And so he's going to come for you. He might even say, babe, are you coming home? Those are things you want to hear when you want to be the one and only one. But if you don't mind being the other one, then you have to accept your poison, as the elder has said many times over. Let me share this. In my new book called Woman, which, by the way, is copyright protected, okay? And it's actually the book itself is sitting in the Library of Congress down there in Washington, D.C. So it's completely copyright protected. So I'm going to read from it today, all right? Understand it is protected. And this old woman over here, she don't play about her stuff, okay? So just make sure that if you're going to cite it, make sure you give me credit for my writings, okay? He was a successful businessman from North Carolina running one of the most prestigious law firms in the state. He'd been married for 34 years to his high school sweetheart, Darla. Darla was modest, soft-spoken woman with dark brown, wild, and crazy hair. She was known in her community as a woman with the warmest smile, and she just so happened to be the most involved woman in her community. Dressed in consummate elegance daily, no one dared to miss her waving hello in passing. She was kind and gentle and a task-driven wife and mother of 3, managing it all in grace and dignity, however perfect in her manners, however perfect in her appearance. She wasn't Shannon. You see, Shannon received a monthly benefit and payment of $6,500 per month, plus a daily per diem of $175 a day, as well as the end of the year bonus of $22,000 a year over a 5-year period. Her rent, her car note, and education were additional benefits according to her contract. Shannon was blinded by the personal wealth she was able to build and the possibility of a better life and the many romantic trips she was afforded. She never once considered that her lover would use these expenses to his benefit as a tax write-off. You see, Shannon, although adored and highly coveted by her wealthy businessman and lover, she wasn't nearly as sharp as the agency that found her for him, nor was she educated in the business of 1099 girlfriends. You see, his affair was far more than just the lust for a younger woman with firm boobs and a high sex drive. No, his need to express his most complicated sexual desires. He needed a discreet romantic partner tied to him by NDAs, contracts, and duty. She was a lover he had employed. She wasn't the first, and she wouldn't be the last. But most importantly, she was a slave to a much more complicated system. Money, sex, lies, and the business of wealthy businessmen and their tax deductions. Although married, his lover was happy to settle into this ongoing 5-year long-term sexual relationship. And neither did she mind the title, oftentimes associated with being the other woman. She took pride in being his mistress and felt equally ecstatic about him being her master. Now, I don't want to go too deep into that because I think I already went too deep a little bit by reading part of that. What I want you to understand is that this man, wealthy businessman, had a wife and a family for a very, very long time. However, he had this woman named Shannon. She was getting $22,000 a year, $6,000, $5,000 per month, $175 per diem. She was making out like a bandit, getting really good gifts, really good trips. But what she didn't know is that she was just a financial tool for him to use. Right? I'm telling you that story because I believe there's 2 sides to the wife, the mistress, and oh my God, it hurts so bad. And so I put that part in the book because listen, chapter 1 goes hard, and I'm not just saying that because it's my book, but it really does go hard. I wanted to start the book opening that way because people don't understand that this is a whole world out there that people indulge in, that, is just on a different level than both you and we have, right? The standard American working everyday folks, a little bit different. But there are some people who have it where, giving a woman $6,000, $5,000 a month just so she can be on your payroll, that's nothing. In fact, you're going to write it off at the end of the year anyway. There's no love in that. That's a transactional relationship. Something else I want to put out there. You meet a guy at the club, at the restaurant, day one. You exchange numbers. And you say to your girlfriend, girl, he was fine. Girl, he fine. And you guys are on the phone talking about how good he smelled and how good he looked. But y'all haven't talked just yet. Day two comes around. You're still waiting. I wonder if the guy from the club is going to call me. It would be nice if he called me because, girl, he was so fine. And then you get a phone call 3 days later. He calls and he says, hey, this is the guy you met at the club? Hey, you talk to him. You guys make a date. You go out. He's saying all the right things. Seems like he got it all together. You say to yourself, I think I hit the jackpot, darling. Now, already in your head, you done already try to figure out what his mother looked like, whether or not who the last girlfriend was, etc. And so then you hit him with, so you got a girlfriend? He says no. You say, you lying. Yes, you do. I know you got a girlfriend. You got to have a girlfriend. You too fine not to have a girlfriend. Why are you out here in these streets and you ain't got a girlfriend? And so now the man who told you he didn't have anybody, you making him now have somebody. All right? No worries. You guys talk on the phone at night. Now you're 2 weeks in. And things still doesn't sit right with you. Something is not right. And so the job he told you he had worked at, you found out wasn't true. Then you find out that he does have a Facebook because he told you he didn't have one. And on that Facebook page, you find out that he's married. Boy, you're pissed. You're thinking to yourself, does his wife know he's running around talking to women? Oh, now you want to know about the wife. Now you're investigating. You're going deep on the page. Now you know where she works. Now you know more about him than you thought you did. But you have spent so much time and so much energy on it that you didn't even realize that all you guys had was just a date. And a few conversations. Because when you really think about it, that day you wanted to go out on Valentine's Day, he told you he was extremely busy. He didn't say what he was busy with. He just said, oh, I can't see you on Valentine's Day. I'm extremely busy. And then when it was your birthday and you invited him to your birthday party and he didn't show up, and you asked him, why didn't he come? And he said, well, I was extremely busy. And then that time that your car broke down and you didn't have any other number but that one, and you called him and said, I'm on the side of the street. And he said, oh, man, did you call AAA? Because I'm extremely busy. In fact, every time that you connected with him by phone, he's been extremely busy, except that one time when he got to own your entire body. But ever since then, he's been extremely busy. And so in my mind, I think about it like this. If I don't know your middle name, whether or not your mother, your father, your parents are still living, where's your family from? What's your best day of the week? Or what's your favorite holiday? What's your favorite food? If I've never seen you have a hard conversation, if I don't know how you act in times of discomfort, road rage even, how do you handle that? If I don't know whether or not you like the color white on my toes or the color green, if I haven't had time to build a case on who you are, how do I let you hurt me so badly. That's the point of this message, because there's someone out there hurt so badly right now. Can't eat, confused, feeling a sense of hopelessness and rejection and sorrow. It almost kind of feels like they lost an actual human being, a life. There's a grieving process going on, and it hurts like hell. I'm here to give you some hot wisdom today, okay? Because the world doesn't want you to get that part. They want you to be right here, immobile, where someone has to take care of you and wash you. They want you to be here. But what if you can say to yourself, it wasn't that deep? Or if it was just a date, or I was just trying to get to know somebody or learn somebody, but it wasn't that deep. What if the pain you are feeling right now has nothing to do with the guy itself, but the fact you know this feeling all so well, you felt it before? And so now it's just coming to revisit you whenever there's a new guy who makes you upset, or who doesn't finish what he said he was going to finish, or who turns out to be completely different. What if you can just tell your brain it wasn't that deep? And what if all the sorrow just goes away because you realize, wait a minute, I didn't know that damn man. How could I have loved him so? I don't know that man. How could I hurt so deeply? Perhaps this is just rejection after all, and I haven't learned how to deal with it just yet. Darling, I hope this video helps you. Whether you are the mistress, the wife, or you are in that position of, oh my God, it hurts so bad. Let me just tell you, each and every day you wake up and your eyes open, you choose. You choose. Until next time, be empowered, be inspired, and be well.
That's right. That's right. That's right, child.